Love and light family, this is TheSatrilrose. I just wanted to tap in and make a quick video. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I'm just, again, like I always do, I'm gonna let spirit speak through me. As of right now, I am just a vessel because I feel as though that there's somebody out there that needs this message, right? And today I want to talk about the shadow self. I want to talk about that aspect of self that goes unnoticed and that goes unchecked, right? The shadow self is so important. It's so important to pay attention to, right? It's so important to pay attention to because a lot of the times we get into a space to where we want to kill that part of ourselves off, and that just makes it all the more darker. If I'm being honest with you, you're just feeding that void because you're giving that energy what it wants. You're giving that shadow self, you're feeding that shadow self exactly what it wants. It wants to feed off of those negative emotions, and that what I believe is a negative emotion by wanting to kill that aspect of yourself off, because that's a version of yourself that you hate. That's a version of yourself that you dislike, strongly dislike, right? So instead of wanting to kill that aspect of yourself off, why not actually sit down with that part of yourself and understand, why are these demons here? The etymology of demon, right? Root word daemon, meaning genius, right? There's a genius within understanding those demons. Sitting down and understanding, why are you here? What do you want? What exactly do you want from my being? What exactly do you want out of this physical reality? Because the thing is, our shadow selves feed off of the reality that we've manifested for ourselves. And I feel as though that a lot of us fail to realize that we manifest a lot of the things into our reality by not understanding on a deeper level what this shadow self really is, right? This shadow self is things that we try to hide, are things that we try to bottle up and contain, right? And again, you guys got to excuse me. I'm allowing spirit to speak through me. I'm a vessel today, you know. Those things that we try to hide and bottle up and fill those voids with, right? And that could be anything. That could be anything. These are the things that our subconscious mind, because you have the conscious mind and you have the subconscious mind, right? And I personally believe that the shadow self is where the subconscious mind. And if you study Olokun, he'll teach you that the deeper you go into the ocean, the darker it gets, right? Emotions are energy in motion. The subconscious mind is just one dark ass ocean. The deeper you go, the darker it gets. This is something that Olokun taught me himself, right? It brings me to the Bible, right? In the Bible, Jesus says, Satan, get behind thee, right? He was talking about your shadow self. He wasn't talking about a physical entity that was literally behind him. He was talking about his shadow self, right? So when you study those stories, those myths, those pataki, right? You understand the subconscious mind, and you understand that shadow self. You understand that the same way we have our higher selves, our inner child, and our lower selves, we have the shadow self, right? And the shadow self is what it should be. And this is something that a good friend of mine by the name of Bandclap, you guys go check him out. Bandclap TV on YouTube. He's a dope streamer. Breaks down the Orisha like nobody else. He talks about basically your shadow self should be a protection of your inner child, right? Your shadow self should be a protection of your inner child. it gets to a point to where your shadow self is such a genius. It is able to protect your inner child in a way that whatever your inner child is not okay with, you'll hear that voice clear as day. It's almost as if your shadow self would be a messenger of a sort, right? It's almost as if your shadow self would be a messenger of a sort. And again, when this goes unnoticed, this is where sex addiction comes from. This is where porn addiction, this is where alcoholism, this is where drug addiction, right? And this is why I do not judge those who have certain addictions, because their inner child is just crying out. That's it. And this is why understanding that on a deeper level, on a deep subconscious level, why certain demons are present, why certain thoughts are present, because thoughts turn to thought forms, because they actually turn into material physical form. When we realize that we have the ability to manifest things into our physical reality, that's when we become true masters of self, right? And when you do all of this esoteric work, all of these esoteric studies, and you forget to work on that shadow self, it will manifest. It will manifest, right? You can look in the media and see certain celebrities who have shadow selves that go unchecked. You can look in the media and see where certain artists, certain actors, actresses, where that shadow self began to take over. Their inner child is locked away somewhere. And I've gotten to a point to where, and not to put anybody's business out there because all of this is confidential, right? I've done so many readings to where a lot of my clients, their inner child is locked away somewhere, and it's sad to see because I see it. It is sad to see, and it makes me upset. It makes me sad. Because there's no way that your inner child should be in shackles, in chains. Because your shadow self has locked it away somewhere you can't find him or her. Because you decided not to check your shadow self, right? People pleasing is also another one. And when I say that your inner child is chained, shackled, or jailed, right? This just means that you're so disconnected. Think about this, right? Think about a family member. We all know a family member who's been to jail. We all know a family member who's been locked up. There's no physical contact. There's damn near no phone conversations because, man, that costs. So you're so disconnected from your inner child. There's no reaching it, right? And this is something that you can see. This is not something that we're taught in the media. This is not something that we're taught at home or taught at school, right? This is something that we learn while we're on this path, right? And when you've allowed your shadow self to take so much control of your being, you become a shell of yourself. And this is why in 2024, dating is such a hard thing to do, because especially in the melanated community, right? The so-called black community, right? It's so hard to do because you're so disconnected from your inner child, and you've allowed your shadow self to take that much control instead of you controlling it, instead of you actually sitting down and understand each and every demon, each and every daemon that you have, and having that meeting, having that conversation, and understanding why certain what are you saying, Spirit? Why certain behaviors are present, why certain thoughts are present, right? And this is where the term shadow work is originated, right? Because you cannot understand, or you cannot get to your higher self if you have not understood your shadow self. We are both light and dark beings, right? We are both light and dark beings the same way we are both masculine and feminine, right? Out of darkness comes light. Rise and power to Brother Panic. Rise and power to Brother Panic. Out of darkness comes light. You have to sit down and understand and go within and understand the shadow self, your shadow self, right? You have to face those demons. You have to face that dark self, that dark aspect of self. The work needs to be done. So family, again, I just wanted to allow Spirit to use me as a vessel today, right? I am beyond grateful to be able to continue to do this work on this path. I am beyond grateful. I'm almost at 200 subscriptions, right? On YouTube. I am beyond grateful to my soul family. I am beyond grateful to everybody who's engaged in any of my videos, the likes, the views, the comments. I am beyond honored. I'm grateful. It is an honor to be able to do this work. There are things in my life that are frustrating right now. There are things in my life that I'm still working through. I almost didn't get this video out, but Spirit told me, no, you have to fight through all of this. You are a warrior. The work needs to be done. You are needed, and so are you. So as always, family, I am available for readings at any time. If you need to contact me, my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube, TheSatrilrose, right? Again, my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube, TheSatrilrose. I will put my website in the description. It should have my cash tag, my socials. It should have everything there. If you need a reading, contact me through my business email and we can schedule your reading. But again, my Instagram, TheSatrilrose. My TikTok, same thing, TheSatrilrose. Cash tag, Satrilrose. I love you all.